Welcome to this video on publishing the process in BIZUIT server. Hello everybody. In this video, we'll explore the process publishing options in BIZUIT. Publishing a process makes both the workflow and the design forms available on the BIZUIT server, allowing users to start working with them. When publishing a process, it's essential to configure key settings like logs, history, and trace to ensure proper monitoring and control throughout the process lifecycle. Let's go over each of these options and see how they impact the published process. When publishing a process in BIZUIT, we can define several basic properties that help organize and version the process. To publish, click this button or go to the Tools menu and select Publish. Display name: this is the name that will be shown in the BIZUIT dashboard, visible in the Processes menu and in the task tray. Category and subcategory: we can choose or create a category and subcategory to organize processes and make them easier to find in the catalog. Process version: the initial version is 1.0.0.0, but we can decide whether to increase it when publishing updates. Any unfinished instances will continue with the previous version, while new ones will run using the updated version. We can also define the icon and its color, which will be used to identify the process in the dashboard's process list. The log scheme allows us to record events and errors that occur during process execution. BIZUIT stores this information in its internal database. Log schema options: errors, only logs unhandled errors that occur during the execution of the process. All, logs all the information sent to the process, as well as the results, even if no errors occurred. Disabled, no log entries are recorded. The history feature allows storing each step of the process, making it easier to audit and control changes. History options: on all instances, logs the full history of every instance, even after completion. This allows rollbacks on completed instances. On active instances, the history is saved only while the instance is active. Once completed, it is deleted. Disabled, no history is stored, which means rollbacks on instances are not possible. The trace stores a record of every activity executed in the process. It provides valuable insight into the input and output data of each activity. Tracking options: enabled, activity tracking is active and can be customized using a tracking plan. Disabled, no tracking is performed. We can also configure how to manage unhandled errors in the process. Error handling options: return to last persistence point, the process rolls back to the last persisted activity when an error occurs. Log error: the instance remains in a faulted state on the activity that failed, allowing us to review the issue in the log viewer. When publishing, we can select which forms will be published to the BIZUIT server. Form selection: we select the forms we want to publish so they become available in the system. Compilation option: we can choose to either compile the process immediately or simply save it to the catalog to compile it later. If we choose to compile it right away, we're preparing the process to be executed immediately in the connected environment. BIZUIT performs a complete validation to ensure all activities and configurations are correct. If any issues are found, they'll be displayed to prevent publishing a faulty process. This option is ideal when the process has been finalized and validated, and we want to activate it immediately so users can start working without delay. Alternatively, we can decide not to compile the process at the moment of publication. In that case, it will be saved in the catalog as a draft, and won't be available for execution until it's compiled. This gives us greater flexibility, allowing time for further adjustments, internal validations, or approvals before activating the process in the connected environment. It's particularly useful for saving a preliminary version while we continue refining the final details, or when we prefer to delay the activation.